Hi, I'm in Todmorden, the community college, the Makery, which is this fantastic makerspace that I've only just discovered recently. So we put together a plan. I'll move around this side of the table. A jam grant plan. And I'm just going to run through it quite quickly what we're thinking of. So we're thinking of, if this starts in January 2022, so we've got January, February, March, April, and you can work out the rest. We're looking at a cycle of 3 different monthly activities. We've agreed that, for example, the 3rd Tuesday every month from 5 till 8 would be a good regular window to stick to. So let's start with the big ones. So we'll probably have 3 of these in a year. A big jam in real life, which will comprise mostly of 3 activities, which I'm just going to describe now for a moment. So the first one, people would turn up perhaps at 5 p.m. for a workshop, which would last about 45 minutes. It's just a bit of fun. It's nothing massively complicated or technical, and it's one of those low floor, not so much about a high ceiling. Then we'll have a short break. Then the second hour or so this will probably start around 6 o'clock, we'll gear up for lightning talks, which might last half an hour or so, depending on how many we have. So if each talk is 5 minutes long or so, and we have 5 of them, then it would be about 25 minutes. And then the final hour, that would be like from 7 till 8 or so, we'd have a mingle session. And in the mingle session, this table that I'm at, it may even be that in here, over here we have Janine from Haslington, and Janine's got a project that she's working on at school. And then over here we have Michael from Macclesfield, who's travelled all the way to come here, and he's brought along some robots that he's working on. And that's the kind of thing that would happen in that sort of mingle activity. Although some people, parents with young families, 7 o'clock might be, right, we need to get off now, because the adults get tired, you know. So that's the last session, and then when we get to about 8 o'clock, somebody might shout out, right, who's off to pub? Except we don't call it that, we call it the jam jar, and it's an 18 plus thing that takes place after 8 o'clock at the local Frog and Bucket or whatever it's called. So that's the big jam in real life, which we think would happen about every 3 months, perhaps 3 of them in a year. People sign up for tickets, hopefully. They can turn up without tickets, but we'd encourage them to book in case there's any last minute changes. The next thing we've talked about is similar, but not quite as grand, which are these little jams that would take place, again, about every 3 months. They might follow on from a big jam. It's a much more loose, fluid thing where we say to people, just turn up and see what happens. If you've got a project you're working on, you need some help, that'd be great, bring it along. You don't have any projects, oh, look at those books and magazines over there. Maybe you could get involved in a learner-led project where you're steering, you're deciding what to do, and while you're there you might get distracted by some noise or drilling and you want to see what's going on. And talk to people while you're there and learn who it is that comes to these. So that would be much more loose, informal. That would probably the month after the big jam. And then the other thing we've talked about is joining up with our online jam collective. So these were originally designed for Preston, the online jams, but we've noticed we have people from all over the British Isles and beyond. We have a lady called Catherine who joins us from Belgium, and we have people who join us from Scotland, and we have people from Wales and the south coast and the east coast. So we should have people from Todmorden as well joining our online jam. So these will take place online as well, interspersed between the others. And what we'll do is we'll try to, in these other events, the in-person events, we'll try to recruit people and persuade and encourage them to sign up to give a talk at one of these. Right, I think that is the plan explained. I think I've covered all of the details.